Welcome to EduRev.
Hi all, my name is Sarika Tulsiani. In the previous few videos, we have seen the concepts of ratios, proportion and variation and also solved a few questions on the same. In this video, we'll be specifically looking at certain CAT problems and CAT level problems on all the three concepts. So let's start with the first word problem. Let's see what does it say. It says, the monthly phone bill has a fixed tariff for up to 50 outgoing calls. So for a 50 outgoing calls, you have to pay some fixed money. Now, outgoing calls in excess of 50 are charged at a certain fixed rate per call. So if you make calls beyond 50 calls, you will be charged a certain fixed rate per call. So the monthly bills of Ram and Shyam, who made 98 outgoing calls and 218 outgoing calls, were rupees 300 and 450. ठीक है, find the monthly bill of a person who has made 160 outgoing calls. ठीक है, so you have to find out the bill of a person who's made 160 outgoing calls. So understand, your total bill amount is equal to some fixed money which you have to pay for the 50 outgoing calls plus the remaining money, let's call it R. Now this remaining money is proportional to the number of calls you make. ठीक है, the outgoing calls in excess of 50 are charged at a certain rate per call. ठीक है, so the remaining money is charged depending upon the rate per call. ठीक है, it varies directly proportional to N. So when I remove the variation sign, I have to add a constant. So this is Kn. So what will happen is my total bill is equal to the fixed money plus Kn. N is the number of extra calls you make. ठीक है. Now if you talk about Ram, see, the total bill was 300 rupees. So the total bill was 300 rupees. He had to pay some fixed money plus, I don't know the value of K, into, see, he made a total of 98 outgoing calls. For the first 50 calls, the money was fixed. So he had to pay extra money for the remaining calls. So the remaining calls were 48 calls. ठीक है, so your equation becomes 300 is equal to F plus 48K. ठीक है, now if you talk about the other fellow Shyam, the total bill he had to pay was 450 rupees. ठीक है, so the total bill was 450 rupees. So he had to pay some fixed money plus, देखो, he made 218 calls. Out of 218 calls, the 50 calls he had to pay some specific money, which is F. So for the remaining calls, which is 218 minus 50, he had to pay extra money. So that was 168 calls. ठीक है, he had to pay some extra money. So that is 168K. Now what I'll do is I'll solve the two equations simultaneously and find the value of F and K. If I just subtract the two equations, I will have, let's subtract second equation from the first. So this will be 450 minus 300, which is 150. My FF will get cancelled. 168 minus 48 will become how much? It will become 120K. Okay, 168 minus 148 will become 120K. So if I ask you what is the value of K, it will be 15 upon 12, or I can write it as 5 upon 4. So my value of K is 5 upon 4. If I substitute that in the first equation, I know 300, I'm substituting it here. So that will be 300 is equal to F plus 48 into 5 by 4. Correct? 4 ones are 4 12s are. So this will become 60. So my F will be 300 minus 60, which is 240. So he had to pay a fixed money of 240 rupees. Now they are asking you, what is the monthly bill of a person who has made 160 outgoing calls? So what is the total bill? So total bill is the fixed money. See, from here we know it's the fixed money. The fixed money he has to pay is of 240 rupees. Okay? 240 rupees. Plus, I know the value of K. The value of K is 5 upon 4 into, he made a total of 160 calls. उसमें से for the 50 calls he has already paid 240 rupees. So for the remaining calls he will be charged extra. So the remaining calls are 110 calls. So for this he will be charged extra. Correct? So this will become 4 2s are 8. So you're left with 30. So 4 7s are 28, and then you're left with 5. So this will become the total value, that is 240 plus 5 into 27.5. So if I add this, it comes out to be 377.5. So this is the total money that fellow is required to pay if he makes 160 calls. Okay? Now let's look at the next question. What does it say? The people of an island are taxed in a particular manner. They have to pay a fixed sum irrespective of their income, along with which they have to pay an amount which is proportional to the excess of their salary over 50,000. So again, they have to pay a fixed amount. So the total tariff is some fixed amount plus they have to pay an extra income, an extra amount, and this amount is proportional to the excess of their salary above 50,000. Okay, so whatever money they make above 50,000, they have to pay that. They will be charged tax on that basically. A pays a total tax of 6,200 when his salary is 60k. So when his salary is 60k, he pays 6,200. B pays a tax of 7,700 when the total income is 75,000. What is the salary of C who pays 8,200 as tax? What is C's salary? Now we have seen the sum in the previous case wherein we had used equations to solve the problem. So let's try to solve this one without using the equations. Let's try to minimize the use of equations. How do we do that? See, understand, if your income is up to 50,000, you have to pay a fixed amount of tax. And beyond 50,000, you have to pay some extra money. We'll try to figure out what is the fixed money and what is the extra money we are supposed to pay. See, understand, we have to pay a tax of 6,200 if the income is 60,000. Okay, if the salary is 60,000. So if you talk about A, for 50,000 he had to pay some fixed money. So the extra tax was charged on 10,000, correct, or 10k. Okay, so if you're getting 10k extra, you have to pay 6,200. Similarly, B had to pay 7,700 if the total income was 75,000. Now total income is 75,000. So can I say the money beyond 50,000 is 25,000. So if you get 25,000 extra, you have to pay 7,700. What will I do is, I'll find out the difference in the two. What is the difference? 77 minus 62 will give me 1,500. And 25,000 minus 10,000 will give me 15,000. All of this is my extra money. Understand? All of this is my extra money. So can I say, if my salary is 15,000, I have to pay 1,500 extra. This is just the excess money. Here we are not talking about the total tax. See, 6,200 is your fixed tax plus the extra which you are supposed to pay. I'm asking you, what is the excess which you are supposed to pay? So I have to pay 1,500 excess if I earn 15,000 extra. So can I say this is nothing but 10%? So if I'm earning 15,000 extra, I have to pay 10% of that as my excess tax, which is 1,500 rupees. So if I ask you what is the fixed money I had to pay, what was the fixed tariff? Dekho, 6,200 in this case was the total tariff. Okay? We got 10,000 extra. 10,000 was the extra earning. We know on the extra earning we have to pay 10% extra. So that is 10% of 10,000 I was supposed to pay, which was 1,000. This was the excess we were paying, but the total we were paying is 6,200. So 1,000 plus 5200 gives me 6200. So the fixed money we have to pay is 5200. ठीक है, see 10% is the excess money I have to pay. So if I'm earning 10,000 extra, I have to pay 10% of that, which is 1,000 rupees extra. But I'm paying a total of 6,200. That means 5,200 is the fixed money we have to pay. Now they are saying what is the salary of C who pays 8,200 as tax. He is paying 8,200 as tax. Now understand, if you talk about C, देखो 5,200 is the fixed money he has to pay, irrespective of whatever his income is, 5,200 up to 50,000. Plus whatever is the extra money he is making, on that he has to pay 10%. So that is 10% of extra. This is equal to the total tax he is paying, and the total tax he is paying is 8,200. ठीक है, so can I say 10% of extra is 3,000 in this case, 82 minus 52. So my extra income is 30,000. So he is earning an extra of 30,000. So what is the total money he is earning? 50,000 for 5,200 and the extra 30,000. So he is earning a total of 80,000. And on 80,000 he has to pay 8,200. So this is how you're going to approach this problem. Okay? Now let's look at the next problem. What does it say? It says a student gets an aggregate of 60% marks in 5 subjects in the ratio 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay? This is an aggregate of 60% marks. So this is the ratio of marks he has scored. So suppose if there are 5 subjects A, B, C, D, E, marks which he has scored, the ratio is 10:9:7:6:5. Now if the passing marks are 50% of the maximum marks and each subject has the same maximum marks, in how many subjects did he pass the exam? Okay, in how many subjects did he pass? Now try to understand. This is the ratio of marks scored. Let me assume ये उसने marks score किया है, मतलब A में he has scored 10, B में he scored 9, C में 8, D में 7, E में 6. We are assuming that this is the total marks he scored. If I ask you what is the total marks he has scored, so that will be 10 plus 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6. So this will become 40 marks. So he has scored a total of 40 marks. But we know he has got 60% of the maximum marks in all the subjects together. So 60% of my maximum marks is 40. So if I ask you what is the maximum marks, it will be 40 upon 60%. Or I can write this as 40 upon 0.6. Okay? Or you can also write this as 400 upon 6. So this will come out to be 66.66, or you can approximate it to 67. So the total marks or the maximum marks, okay, of all the subjects together was 67. We are just assuming this, okay? So the maximum marks of all the subjects is 67. We got this number because we assumed these to be the marks he scored. Okay? Now they are saying the maximum marks of each subject, or each subject has the same maximum marks. ये 67 क्या है? ये total marks है of all the subjects put together. ठीक है, 67 is the total marks of all the subjects put together. So if I ask you what is the maximum marks of each subject, हर subject का maximum marks कितना होगा? That will be 67 upon 5 because we have 5 subjects. So this will become 5 1s are, 5 3s are 15, 5 4s are 20. So this is the maximum marks of each subject. ठीक है, ये total marks है हर subject का. Now if you have to pass, you have to score 50% of maximum marks if you want to pass. ठीक है, so that is half of 13.4. So what will this become? This will become 2 6 are 12 and this is 6.7. So if you score 6.7 marks in a subject, you will pass. So at least you have to score 6.7. Now in subject A, he scored 10 marks, so he has passed out of 13.4. In B, he scored 9, so he passed. In C, he scored 8, so he passed. In D, he scored 7, so he passed. But in E, he scored 6. He has to score a minimum of 6.7. So he has not passed in E. So the question is, in how many subjects did he pass? He passed in 4 subjects. Okay? And this becomes your answer. Now let's look at the next question. What does it say? If PQR is 1, then what is the value of this expression? They have given us 4 options and we have to identify the right value. This is one of the recent CAT questions. Okay? Now remember, whenever you have such a question where you have 3 variables, here you have PQ, here you have QR, here you have PR, your task should always be to eliminate one variable. If you can eliminate one variable successfully, you can solve the entire problem very easily. How do we do that? Understand. Let me write the problem. So this is 1 upon 1 plus P plus Q raised to minus 1. Q raised to minus 1 can be written as 1 upon Q plus this will be 1 upon 1 plus Q plus R raised to minus 1 is 1 upon R plus 1 upon 1 plus R plus P raised to minus 1 is 1 upon P. Correct? See, understand, we know PQR ka value is 1. So, I'll try to use this data. So, this will be 1 upon 1 plus P plus. Can I replace this 1 by PQR? Because 1 is nothing but PQR. So, this will become PQR upon Q. PQR upon Q, your QQ will get cancelled, so you will only have PR. Because मैंने क्या किया? I have replaced 1 by PQR. So PQR upon Q, QQ will get cancelled, you will have only PR. तो यहाँ पे मैंने क्या किया? I eliminated Q. Correct? So in the other 2 expressions also, you have to try and eliminate Q. That's it. So this will become 1 upon 1 plus. I don't want Q here. We know PQR is equal to 1. So can I write Q as 1 upon PR? Correct? So this Q will be written as 1 upon PR plus this will be 1 upon R. So we eliminated Q. In this case, you don't have Q. So you just simplify this. So I will just cross multiply P. So this will become P plus PR plus 1 the whole upon P. Okay? Now what will happen is this will become 1 upon 1 plus P plus PR plus this expression, here the LCM is PR. So I'll multiply throughout by PR. So the denominator will be PR plus 1 plus this will be P upon PR plus in this case ये P ऊपर चला जाएगा. So you will have P upon 1 plus P plus PR. In this case also this PR will go above. So what will you have? You will have 1 plus PR plus P upon, if you check the denominator, this denominator and this denominator is the same. So it will be 1 plus P plus PR. Now if you check, your numerator and denominator is the same. So it will get eliminated. So your answer will be 1. Okay? So option 3 is your answer. So, in this video, we have seen quite a few CAT level questions and some CAT questions as far as ratio, proportion and variation is concerned. In the next video, we'll be solving some more questions for the same. After you're done with watching these videos, I would request you to please go and try certain mock tests because the questions are designed by our expert EduRev educators. We have all the questions which are of CAT level. So go and try to figure out whether you're really comfortable with this topic or not. If you have any queries, you can write into us at support@edurev.in. And for anything else, you can visit the website www.edurev.in. I hope this video has clarified your concepts and your approach towards the problems. Thank you so much.